Well, it's like David and I were both involved with the Chicago Screenwriters Network, and I was even on the board for a while. And we read a lot of scripts. It's just local screenwriters, people struggling, sharing scripts and all that. And read a lot of scripts that were far better than most of the movies being made.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And the one interesting thing was, outside of my my Ray Harryhausen take on all his movies, my Sinbad movie, nobody was writing any fantasy of that particular genre. They were writing horror, fantasy, and that. And maybe, like Jake says, the pendulum will swing back. Comics are made for movies because they're a visual medium too.
Storyboard.
And because of Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter, we've now got C.S. Lewis. And they're doing nice work. They're looking at literature again to make movies, which I've always said, if you can't find a good original script, there's a ton of books out there that, it's hard work to adapt. David adapted, no, you didn't. Your Magicians was a script, then it became a book.
Yeah, but
then we readapted
it.
And I know that can be very difficult to adapt a book into a script. I just saw the Spiderwick Chronicles, and I thought it was cute and engaging, and I enjoyed it a lot, and I'm looking forward to another one. Well, I'd like to see what they do with Red Sonja. I'd like to see what they would do with another Conan. Maybe we can have a Conan that's a little less, because the one thing a lot of the people that write Conan, or were writing the pastiches, missed was that he was very subtle. For all his kicking down the door and chopping everybody to pieces, he was extremely subtle, and Conan was no dummy. He was very intelligent, and he used his wits as much as his sword arm. But it was just all in the subtext, and I think that has been missed, that Conan is not a dumb barbarian. That became a cliche because of everybody copying it. And you remember Saga, Lynn Carter's gone, Staccamp's gone, Jack Vance is gone. You still have Michael Moorcock. I think he's still doing Elric, and a lot of other things. I don't know who else. Fritz Lieber, I think, belonged to Saga. He's gone now. Lynn Carter was a great editor. He was scholarly enough to put something together like you were talking about.
He did do that.
He persisted, or he just enjoyed Edgar Rice Burroughs so much. Everything he wrote was Edgar Rice Burroughs.
One-dimensional.
But we need a good scholarly overview of sword and sorcery, or we just need someone. Who knows? Maybe we'll walk into a bookstore one day and there's all the Kothar novels by Gardner Fox, in one volume, right?
With a scholarly appreciation.
Maybe they'll reprint John Jakes' Brack series. I don't know if John Jakes is still around. I don't know if he's still publishing. He moved on, and he moved away from...
He just wrote an introduction to a collection of Lee Brackett's stories, so he's still around.
He's still around. Who is the other one that... Dean Koontz. He started out writing science fiction and some science fiction horror, and then he totally moved away from the genre that was, I like to call, the underground. He moved into the mainstream, where Stephen King ended up residing. We don't know. A lot of these writers might still be around writing stuff, but maybe under pen names, under other names. There were a lot of single volume writers that wrote one or two novels and you never heard of them again. Like Harper Lee, she had one book in her, and Margaret Mitchell, that was it. Maybe a lot of these people have one novel in them, and that was it. But maybe down the road, it says, if this came back and Howard's coming back, maybe the Red Sonja will be reprinted, especially if the movie takes off. And maybe they'll start looking at other not because David's sitting there or he's my friend, but with the success of Pirates of the Caribbean, somebody should reprint or film The Witch of the Indies.
Oh, Witch of the Indies, yeah.
Because it's
everybody's favorite.
The greatest pirate novel that I had read in years. It inspired me to want to take and do a sword and sorcery pirate novel which I started working on
What a hoot.
and I put away in the late 1990s, and then all of a sudden Pirates of the Caribbean came out.
Did you ever read that one?
Haven't yet.
Okay, you'll have to read that. It's fun. It's a romp. It really is.
It's a good pirate story, and
Yeah.
plus it's a fantasy. And
Yeah, it is.
I mean, Conan could be the hero in it
Yeah.
too, except that it's set
Yeah, it's
in
a
a
romp.
different time.
It is.
And the other thing I wanted to say
Sure.
is you just don't have the markets like we
I
used
know.
to. The magazines, the professional magazines,
There's no
as
Midwest.
well as as well as the fans.
Yeah, the fans in the Midwest is gone. So. Any other thoughts? We could wrap this up here, I guess. Have we said what?
Well, I think that it points out that the question is still there to be answered. Can sword and sorcery as a style exist on a commercial level?
Mm-hmm.
And if the answer is yes, then why isn't there more of a presence than there is now?
Mhm.
What can be done to move that along?
Yeah.
And that's the question.
And that's the question. So we wait answers.
Maybe we have to do it ourselves,
Yeah, we gotta do it
something.
ourselves.
But
Maybe.
nothing is lost forever thanks to the internet.
Oh,
It's
you're right.
one thing, everything lost is found again.
Again. All right, that wraps it up. Anyone who cares to view this, we hope you've enjoyed this open discussion. And we're going to try to put it on YouTube is where you're going to find this. So.
And we hope to see you again.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
Thank you.
Here we go.